He began performing since he was 10 years old. As an adult, traveling the world and making tens of thousands of dollars per month. Then he walked away from it all. Find out why when we meet this actor and Grammy Award winner next on Below the Line.
It's Below the Line with George Peroulas. Tonight, George welcomes
So many talented performers may never get the break needed to broaden their career. But what if it comes and the success changes, really changes who you are? An incredible story from a multi-talented entertainer. Please welcome actor, singer, Dove, and Grammy Award winner, Elijah Chester. How are you?
Hey, George. Good to see you.
Great, have a seat. Welcome, we're so glad to have you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, good. Now, you began performing when you were 10 years old. How did that start?
Well, actually, coming out of 5th grade year, I had my first play ever, and I knew I had been bitten by something. And so in 6th grade year, really cool story, went to see a production of West Side Story in Raleigh, and heard of an announcement of an audition for Pippin with Frank Mastrocola, Cheetah Rivera, Jason Gray from Broadway, and I thought, okay, I'm going to try this. Auditioned, got a part, got an understudy of a lead part as a 6th grader, and I thought this must be it. So that's how it all started, right there.
And then you performed in high school.
Then I performed throughout high school. I went back and forth to New York, to Winston-Salem, a lot of training, got involved in commercial stuff. So I was kind of the only kid doing that sort of thing in my area.
And then you went to college in the Carolinas studying performance. And then most people have to audition and apply to go to Juilliard in New York.
Right.
But what happened to you?
I was in Santa Fe at the Santa Fe Opera program, apprenticeship program. It was my 2nd year, and I was doing a couple of small leading roles there, and the Juilliard company was there, like so many other companies are, and they singled out 3 or 4 of us and had an interview and said, we would like for you to come to Juilliard. We will pay you. It wasn't a whole lot, but we'll pay you. You don't have to worry about tuition. We'll give you a stipend, and we want you to live in New York and study in our opera master's program and let us help catapult your career.
Incredible.
So
And how long was that experience?
it was 2 years. 2 years in New York City.
And then at 21, there's a story about you and the Met. Now, what is the Met and how does that work for those who may not know?
The Metropolitan Opera in New York City, that's the major leagues, you know, for a singer, an opera singer. I was still in the Juilliard program, and my manager at the time called and said that one of my fellow tenors, who was also in the agency, had turned down an audition at the Met. Of course, I'm barely even 21, maybe I might have been at the end of 20, and I said, absolutely, I'll try it. And I got the part, and by the time I debuted in December of the year, I was 21 years old. So
Is that a record?
that's a record.
Wow.
That I know of, no other tenor male singer has ever debuted at the Met at the age of 21.
And you've traveled all over the world. Did you ever imagine all this would happen so quickly for you?
Oh, absolutely not. I grew up in that 80s sort of musical theater. You work yourself really hard from the chorus line to the front line. As long as it takes, it's your passion, it's what you do. I never had any dreams that something would happen, you know, as fast as it did, but I certainly wasn't turning it down as the ride took off.
And the work kept coming and
the
coming.
work kept coming and coming. Because of being at the Met and being involved in a couple of other big-time opportunities, my career just kept getting faster and faster and throwing me all over the world. So it was an exciting ride.
You've had great reviews all over the country, from the New York Times, the Washington Times, Los Angeles Times, Kansas City Star, Opera Magazine, Denver Post, just to name a few. What do you think about all this recognition? And they all loved you.
Yeah. Well, you're nervous about getting news reviews. I read them all because I want to hear both sides, the negative and the positive. And I did get my fair share of the negative, but I'll be honest, it's incredible when someone says something encouraging like these articles that you've read. That's one of my love languages. I like to hear good things about me. It makes me feel better. So it was incredible.
And with all of that, you were recognized with a Grammy nomination and a win for Best Principal Soloist Opera. Tell us about that.
Another incredible opportunity. The Susanna, Carlisle Floyd's Susanna, was being recorded in Lyon, France. I was invited to be one of the 4 leads in that. Susanna, Preacher Blitch, Little Bat, and her brother. And it was unbelievable. I was still so young and so unaware of what I was involved in. To me, it was just, I can't wait to get a CD on the shelf. That's all it was at the time. And I think a few years later, I hadn't even known that it was up for a nomination. And a friend of mine called and said, "Congratulations on your Grammy." Yeah, okay, very funny. What are we talking about? And it was, "No, seriously, you won a Grammy last night. Surely you were there. You know, don't kid around. Tell me all about it." And I had no clue what he was talking about.
Incredible.
So I started to investigate. Come to find out, the letter of invitation had been sent to an address in Europe that I used to live at. That had been sent to a manager that I no longer had. You know, long story short, the Grammy was sent to the wrong address in Europe, which was sent to a manager, which was sent back to the States. So someone has my original Grammy.
Can you believe this? I mean, it's just, what a story.
Yeah.
But you have the Grammy.
But eventually, I pushed
But they
hard.
lost it in the mail.
They lost it in the mail. They lost it in the mail. And years later, after pushing and pushing letters and phone calls, I finally had someone at the Grammy Association say, "Okay, we're going to try and fire another one for you. They only make them in a certain batch. We're going to try to get you on this next batch of Grammy Awards, and we'll see what we can do." And 8 months later, still hadn't heard anything. I thought, this is it. Just forget it. It's not real. I probably never got it anyway. And that was in the time when the internet still wasn't a vast amount of information to where you could archive and see your name attached to a Grammy. So I said, whatever, it's not real. It can't be. And then one day, knock on the door, delivery man with a box, says Grammy Association, you know, at the top. And of course, you open it up, and it's this shiny award, and it all became real. I actually did that. I was really upset that I didn't get invited to the show, or at least didn't get the letter.
The ceremony and all
Yeah,
that.
that would have been nice.
Get a chance. Well, there's something that you don't know.
What's that?
We heard your story, and we felt bad that you didn't get to experience all of that. So we want to help you out and give you a chance.
Okay.
And the Grammy goes to Elijah Chester.
Thank you.
Oh,
Wow. Am I
Yes.
to the podium?
make your speech.
Oh, gosh. Goodness.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, my goodness. What do I say? I really don't have anything prepared. I wasn't expecting it, but what an honor. I mean, had no idea that I was going to be giving a speech on winning a Grammy, but what an opportunity, what a rare opportunity. I want to thank my family, I want to thank my agent for losing the original and not letting me know, but I want to thank everyone who got me here, my friends, my wife, now my children. Thank you very much for allowing me to have this opportunity. Thank you, George, for allowing me to be celebrated, something that never happened.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All righty. We'll be back in just a moment. Elijah Chester, our Grammy winner.
You're hilarious.
With a Grammy win and up to 6 years of guaranteed work, a passport to success. Coming up next, find out why Elijah Chester walked away from it all. Stay with us.